A dark silhouette soared overhead as its shadow dashed from skyscraper to skyscraper. It sped towards the only building surrounded by helicopters, flashing lights, and SWAT teams. Countless officers were on high alert with eyes searching windows and scouring alleyways for any movement. They were confident that they had the building and even the block locked down because tonight was the night. Tonight will be marked in history as the biggest decision the Global Repatriation Council would ever make. They were voting on the Patch Act, which would resettle millions of people displaced by the blip. But intel surfaced of a threat to the council and the bill. The council gathered in a conference room high in the building. The fluorescent lights poured over a large wooden conference table layered in documents. The walls were covered in monitors displaying land maps, population densities, resources, and timelines. Members of the council were scattered around the room discussing the data and attempting to persuade others to their side. They couldn't hear all the radio chatter and footsteps. They couldn't see the laser sights carving the air. From this height, the only hint of the energy below was the glow on the dark clouds caressed by flashing red and blue lights. The conference room doors silently slid open and a tiny metal ball rolled into the room. It traveled over the thick carpet, dodging shoes and table legs until it reached the center of their group. A mechanical whirring noise emitted from the orb, and a glowing horizontal green light illuminated from its midpoint. Instantly, gas burst from the spear, billowing into the room. The lime smoke pressed its way upwards, crawling into the lungs of several council members. Coughs and wheezes erupted around the room. The overhead lights flashed red as alarms pierced the air. The council was in a panic, visibility lost, only a fog of red. Sirens attacking eardrums, they had to escape. Suddenly, masked men broke through several doors around the room. Their masks were all black except for a red hand palming the globe. This was the international symbol of the elite terrorist group, the Flag Smashers. Several Flag Smashers blocked very specific exits, forcing the council to find another route to escape. Coughing, gasps, and screams echoed amidst the gas. A group of the council members broke away from the pack and trekked towards an exit away from the terrorists. The Flag Smashers were closing in. They had to move quickly. One of the assailants noticed their retreat and pursued. He quickly flanked to cut them off, not noticing a dark shadow stretching across the window to his right. Wings glided in the night air as the flying figure neared the building. He scanned the area and identified a Flag Smasher cornering several council members. He took aim at the 53rd floor and flung his red, white, and blue vibranium shield. It sliced through the air, crashed through a window, and bashed into the assailant, then ricocheted back towards his outstretched arms. He deftly glided through the window, caught the shield, and landed before the body could hit the ground. The mysterious warrior checked the masked man to ensure the threat was neutralized. He stood and attached the shield to his back. One of the council members asked, "Who are you?" The figure turned around and stepped into the light with the star proudly displayed on his chest. Sam Wilson stared at the council, resolve and determination gleaming in his eyes. He replied, "Captain America." This scene inspires me because it's the culmination of the internal struggle of Sam Wilson. An African-American man has decided to be Captain America. Representing a country having a deplorable history of slavery, racism, and experimentation against black people, a black man has chosen to be the change he wants to see in the world. He's chosen to be the national symbol of hope, protection, inspiration, and the embodiment of American values. What was your favorite scene from Falcon and the Winter Soldier? What characteristics do you think Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers shared? Why didn't Steve choose Bucky to be Captain America? Let me know in the comments. The next video will be a throwback to Game of Thrones. Subscribe for more. Until next time, peace.